Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Stu, and I'm excited to talk to you about how Tonkean enables organizations to achieve speed to lead, this concept of responding to leads as quickly as possible and in the context to be most relevant and impactful. It's no secret that organizations that contact with a lead within the first hour are 7 times more likely to be successful at qualifying that prospect than organizations that follow up in 2 hours. So responding as fast as possible, ideally within the first hour of interaction, with relevant, useful information is extremely powerful to generating revenue, to generating new leads, and to processing them through your pipeline. You see, what Tonkean does is we integrate with that pipeline. We integrate with the tech stack that you have today because we are an orchestration platform. That's how we're able to pull out these high-level metrics around current accounts and leads and manage your high-level outcomes that you're trying to achieve. We are this workflow platform that works through your current tech stack so that we can send target account alerts that are enriched from multiple different sources, reaching out to the relevant internal stakeholders. We can do lead lifecycle monitoring. We can help your RevOps teams by notifying them about renewals, your marketing ops teams by turning product and development information into relevant information for marketing campaigns. So this probably sounds great and all, but how is this actually done? Let's take a look at one individual speed to lead workflow, because that's what this portal that we're looking at is. It is a collection of workflows coming together to achieve the concept of speed to lead. This particular workflow is pretty straightforward. What we're doing is we're taking client usage information or telemetry data, whatever you choose to call it, from, it might be trials, so information coming from your custom developed solutions, information coming from interactions with digital ads, that's all being surfaced into this data lake, Snowflake in this case. This database has all of this useful information coming from multiple sources, but we want to be able to action it. We want to move it to the correct locations when it makes sense, and we want to prompt action so that your teams can respond and, again, follow up with these prospects and these leads within the first hour. So how do we do it? First of all, we monitor Snowflake. We would monitor this data lake. And when information is added, we can sort through it and put it into the appropriate location. In this case, adding it to the account record within Salesforce, adding the information to the contact record. This is 100% no code, meaning that you don't have to go and purchase services from a partner or a vendor. You don't have to go to IT and get development resources to help you design this. Tonkean is an API-driven platform that allows you to orchestrate these tools together and not have to write a single line of code. Let's say that you wanted to move not only this data, but also wait and follow up. Well, with just a click, I can go into build mode and I can add people coordination actions, which is the action of reaching out to my users through various platforms. If a team is comfortable being contacted in email, let's use email. If they prefer Microsoft Teams or Slack or GChat, we will communicate with them where they are and allow them to respond and prompt action and ask for information from them. We're going to see that in action in just one moment. Let's say you wanted to use a workflow action and actually wait. And when, let's say the Salesforce account rating changes, do something else. Let's say all of a sudden the account is moved to hot, and you then, if you have a hot account, you want to notify the manager that this account has been flagged as a hot account. Whatever the use case might be, we can look at any field within Salesforce. We can set triggers based on it and prompt action, send information so that we can respond in real time and not have to write any code to do it. And what this means is your workflows are more dynamic. They're owned by you, the person who has the subject matter expertise, the operations person who knows how things should flow. And it communicates to these users in the platforms they're most comfortable in. What else? So for this particular workflow, we're uploading data into Snowflake, putting it into the relevant system, and then if it's a trial, we will prompt action from the SDR. Let's say it's a digital ad. When that's the case, we will see what kind of ad it is and prompt action based on it so that relevant alerts and prompts are being sent. Okay, well, what's this look like in the real world? Well, as an end user, like I said, remain in the platform I'm comfortable in. If I'm in Salesforce, that's fine. Information will be put here, and you may have no idea that it's Tonkean in the background moving this information. If I'm an SDR and I like Slack, I can get information about delinquent alerts if that's relevant for me. If I'm in RevOps, I might want to notify the SDR manager if it's a delinquent alert. I might want to email this lead or manually reassign this lead. So having the ability to reassign work in another platform right from Slack. So these aren't just notifications going out there that you're not sure if they're being effective or not. We actually track who's clicking on what, so you understand what does a relevant, actionable alert look like. Are people getting value out of the automation that we're building? And the examples for this go on, from delinquent alerts to even upcoming renewals. If I wanted to start the CPQ process, I could do it right from here and actually generate a quote for Jill Miller at Meyer. Okay, so let's show this workflow in action now that we've talked through. Now that we understand what this means for each stakeholder, for the leadership, they have their visibility into all their workflows in a single place. For me as the operations person, the process owner, I'm able to manage and own my own workflows, and the end user is able to stay in the tools they're most comfortable with, while Tonkean monitors the whole process and gives me relevant information about them. Let's actually run this workflow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send some data into Snowflake. And if you're reading this, it reads left to right, so it's really simple for another user to look at this interface and know what this workflow is doing. It's first going to take this information, update Salesforce. Okay, great. Then it's going to prompt action in Slack. So first, let's see if it prompted my SDR, and it looks like it did. Right there, I see that I have a new target account alert. Dunder Mifflin is a 6QA account in 6 cents, and Michael Scott has shown interest in an HR-related ad. Would you like to follow up? Sure. I can flag it for a low-touch sequence, which would update something like Outreach or Sales Loft, or I can provide a personal touch and do a high-touch campaign and actually send them an email. But what about Salesforce? That's supposed to be updated as well. Maybe I as the SDR don't care, but Tonkean's going to make sure that this information is written into the appropriate platform so that I can see the most recent lead information for Dunder Mifflin Infinity. And in this case, I can write this into any field that you like, but I just put it into recent lead data to say that Michael Scott interacted with an HR-related digital ad. And it's also going to update the contact record so that there's an audit trail, so that it's clear and visible to everyone involved. And if the SDR decides, all right, I'm going to just simply update this information, make it a little bit more personal and send it, great. Well, Tonkean knows that action was taken, that they flagged it for high touch. We've automatically sent their personalized email, which by the way, we could pull that email template from another system if you have those pre-built. And now I can even prompt them to look at additional information in Salesforce, even if they don't want to sign into it. I could have them notify their pre-sales solution consultant, get them involved, so prompt collaboration. I could even have them manually update their notes in Salesforce if they want to. Again, the SDR is faster. They don't have to leave this interface. They can stay right here and update all the necessary systems. And again, I can see what's effective and what's not. And then on this side, again, we'll be able to pull back all of these reports and see information that lives in Snowflake, information that lives in Salesforce, all related to this particular piece of data, this particular interaction that this person started a trial, that they were in it for 34 minutes. And by the way, here's all the relevant information of who's the owner in Salesforce. Here's the link to Salesforce and the link to this Snowflake information. Keep comments, keep a timeline. You don't have to use this, but Tonkean's going to automatically keep that audit trail and keep all these systems in sync for you so that you don't have to worry about it. And if you don't like how this is flowing or how this is displayed, no problem. You can very easily change it and add whatever relevant fields you'd like here. That flexibility is the power of Tonkean. Its ability to allow an operations person to define and own their own workflow, to allow the end user to work in the interface they're most comfortable in, and to connect all of these systems together, monitoring them and keeping them up to date so that when things take place, you can take action. That is how we help organizations achieve all sorts of outcomes, one of them being speed to lead. So I hope that this was helpful, or at least entertaining, and we'd love to follow up with you and learn a little bit more if this is something that you would like to achieve for yourself.